How to use clippers when you're cutting hair at home. Now this could be if you're cutting someone else's hair, if you're attempting to cut your own hair. I know there's like 8,000 videos about this, but I figured I get a lot of questions about cutting hair at home, so let's give it a shot. So first thing is you wanna make sure you have really good clippers. If you are making an investment or trying to save money from going to actual professionals, they're using this stuff. They're using these high quality clippers that are $100-something each. These are the wall clippers, the 100th anniversary edition. So these are definitely a higher price point. However, if you want a professional haircut, if you want to save money on going out and getting it done, you should invest in this. And also these are clipper guards right here. These are the ones that have like a little metal piece right in through here. Make sure you're getting the right ones. You're not just getting the plastic ones. You need to make this investment for yourself. Trust me, okay? It's well worth it, and it's something you can't skip out on. So when you want to know about like clippers, there's important like maintenance things. Make sure it's oiled. Make sure you're always cleaning off the blade after each use. All clippers, for the most part, all right, not trimmers, but clippers, come with this little. Let me get this head out of the way here. They all come with a lever, okay? This lever right in through here, you can see. You push it down, and that raises the blade, as you can see there, the guard, and you push in, so it's this way, closer to you. That means it's going to be at its shortest. Meaning that if you go with this clipper, you turn on, and you go against the head with it shorter all the way down, or even like this with no attachment, you're gonna have hair like this, okay? Your hair is gonna be relatively short. So be very, very careful. Never just take this and go right to the head, because the sides of your hair will be extremely short, like almost like bald like this. So when it comes to clippers, the lower the number, I'm talking even this, what we call like no guard or 000. This is as short as you're possibly gonna get with using a clipper, AKA almost like it's skin. Then you've got a half guard, which is the next shortest, and you just clip it on this way. And all these guards are designed to be just attached. They're called attachments. You can clip them on, however you want to do it, but they simply just, you pick up from this metal part right in through here, and what you do is you can see you just slide it on this way, and you press downwards like this, and it's locked in. You can also raise the lever like this. Once again, the lower the number, the shorter it's going to be. And this kit right here goes with a number 1 guard all the way to a number 8 guard. If you are interested in getting these, I do have like my Amazon affiliate link down below. I keep forgetting I even have that, but I think you can even go to like my products on Amazon or what I use on Amazon. You can actually go there and purchase this stuff. Yes, they give you an extremely small commission, but this is what I use, okay? It is what it is. These go from number 1 all the way to number 8. And number 8 guard, all right, this is, let's see, 25 millimeters or an inch. So this is gonna leave the hair an inch long. This is the number 8 guard. The higher the number, AKA 8, 7, 6, the longer the hair is going to be. Think of it in measurements. The lower the number, like 1, think of it as the shortest, okay? But this is the longest, and it'll be about an inch long. So when you're going over, you're trying to leave some length, this will be a great option. Just remember that sometimes just because you're gonna be going over the hair like this, all right, this is barely even getting this, but just make sure that you're gonna have pieces that may not be perfectly cut. You may miss some pieces. The longer the guard, I've noticed in my experience, it's harder to actually get all of it in one shot, so you may have to go over it and over it and over it. All right? The next most important thing is never, ever, ever use clippers on wet hair or damp hair. In my experience, okay? You want the hair to be fully dry. You can wash it first if you want, then fully dry it, and then use the clippers, because what happens is the hair, when it's wet, it gets stuck in the blade, it gets stuck in the guard, it's very uneven. Unless you're doing clipper over comb, you can control a little bit more, but a lot of times it's not really getting it all, and it's not showing you the precise length. Hair reacts differently when it's wet, so you want to make sure that the hair is fully dry, especially if you're going really short so you can see where you need to blend, okay? So if you want to leave your hair a bit longer, right? And you're cutting someone's hair at home, or you're cutting your own hair at home, and you take a clipper to it, and let's take this, for example, this 8 guard right here. Let's turn this on, and you go up, and towards the bottom, you see nothing is happening. And also, make sure you're always starting with the lever pointed towards you. So what's the shortest? Maybe you push away, it's shorter. You pull closer to you, it's longer. Pull closer to you, it's going to be at its shortest point, all right, its shortest length. So you try number 8, and nothing happens. You then don't want to go to like a number 1 because it's going to be extremely short. What you need to do is you need to make sure you figure out how short do you want your hair on the sides and the back. And then remember, you have to then blend this into the top. So if you are doing like a 1 here, but you want to leave the top that long, just make sure that you are able to blend all of this in, and I'll show you how to do that right now, okay? So let's say we do a number 5 guard, okay? Put the 5 guard on, and what you're going to do, turn the clipper on, and then you're going to start. And now you may start to lightly see some hairs coming off. Maybe not in the bottom, but more up here. So that means that as you're going up the head shape, whatever is cutting means that is what was left on the last haircut. So it's grown out to this. So it's probably a bit shorter in through here than a number 5 guard, which means that it's trimming it up. How short, it all, again, depends on you. So you experiment, and you feel, and you look in the mirror, or you do a section and you show the person saying, okay, how is this? All right, always start longer if you don't know what you're doing. Start with a longer guard and just work your way down from like an 8, then a 7, and you start to see hairs flying off, and then the person who's hair cutting or your hair say, oh, you know what, that's a perfect length. Then you know, moving forward, number 5 guard is it. That's the perfect length for you, okay? So now, let's do a bit more of an extreme haircut. Let's do a number 2 guard, right? The classic number 2. It's a very popular length for somebody who wants to have hair shorter on the sides and the back, but not like you're gonna be like skin like this, okay? So what I always do is I start in the back and I work my way up. Now when the hair is dry, you're gonna notice that the hair is going to really come off much quicker, and especially when these clippers are being used, a better quality clipper, right? Because the blades are so sharp that it's really gonna help. All right, so what I've done is I've gone to a certain area, and this is where you see the line like this. I've gone to a certain area in the back of the head, meaning I don't wanna go any shorter going upwards. I wanna actually start graduating this and getting longer and longer to work or blend into the top. So a lot of times you can stop cutting this shortest guard or this first guard right where you want to start blending and it going longer, okay? So you can also, if you're doing this in the mirror, it's a bit harder. You do have to use a mirror by looking in one in front of you to see what the mirror behind you so you can see where you're cutting. So now I know this is a bit lower than the sides, but you want to follow the head shape, okay? So now let's go into the sides. And what you want to do is you want to slowly bring the clipper upwards and out right in this area. Now, you can see it's trimmed a little bit of hair, nothing too crazy, but if you like the result from that, then you're good to go. So what I like to do is work to a certain area right in through here, probably around the level of the eye, the corner of the eye, maybe a little bit higher, but between the eyebrow and the eye, corner of the eye, that's where I like to go as far as working my way up, and then I'll just basically just stop right here. Then you can turn the clippers around this way, and now you can start to actually work up from the back area right here to match up with the side. So yes, that's why I said to leave it a little bit lower in the back so you're not working all the way up here and shaving off way too much hair. So as you can see, I'm just working upwards like this, and now we have this one little piece right in through here, and that's where you can go right over the ear and bring the clippers upwards like this, and we're gonna stop right at this one point right here. So we're actually trying to create like a line. We're trying to create some sort of disconnection because we're gonna go back in and we're gonna blend that. So then you can connect this into here, right? We can connect that right into there, and we're going to then stop to where it angles kind of a bit downwards this way, all right? Now let's go back on this side into here. Same thing. Remember, our guide was right between the corner of the eye and the eyebrow. Don't want to go any higher than that. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring this up this way, and we're gonna go right over the ear, and we're just gonna stop to where we have our ideal length right here. And then you can go this way. Make sure you're angling the clippers in a variety of different ways so that the blades can get the hair. And there we go, all right? Perfect. So now we have that. It's worked around the back. So now, how do we transition from this moving upwards? All we're gonna do is take that lever, push it away from us like this, and now we've created like a 2.5 guard. And that's how we go to the next level, all right? So we're gonna work our way up like this. We're gonna work our way up. And now we're actually going into the next phase of the length, which is like this. So we're now gonna start working our way upwards to where we're gonna work into the top. As you can see, I'm working my way upwards, and once you get the hang of this, because of the guard, you're actually gonna have a much smoother process, and you can see I'm just working my way, kind of flicking upwards, right? And we're gonna continue. That's why it's good to have that line there, in my opinion, because you're able to see it, then you're able to kind of predict and pinpoint what needs to be blended in, all right? That's why I think a lot of people are anti doing it this way, because they want to work from the top down, or I think working from the bottom up helps a bit more, because you're able to see and blend and get instant results. So there we go. All right, so now we've got our number 2 guard done. And guess what? We're gonna go from a number 2 to a number 3. Bring the lever back towards you so it's at its shortest point. And now we're just gonna work up, and again, we're gonna slightly lift the clipper away from us, so up and away. And that just kind of helps create a little bit of a softer blend moving upwards. And now we can take this up all the way throughout the back. Okay, remember not to go too high. We're doing this in increments. And yes, you will still see a little bit of a line because that's what we're building. We're building the haircut based off of that. It's like building layers on a house, okay? This is the foundation, and now we're putting the different floors in the hair, and we are working our way upwards towards the roof, which is the top of the head. And all this is doing, it's giving us a nice, consistent flow. It's keeping our work organized, and we're not like doing anything that's gonna be hard to duplicate. The whole thing about this, and why you're gonna be doing hair at home, you know, if you are, is so that you can duplicate this over and over and over. And also, don't get me wrong, if you're a hairstylist, if you're a barber, I mean a hairstylist, and you're not learning this because beauty school or cosmetology school doesn't teach you this, unfortunately, well, this is a great lesson for you as well, all right? I know a lot of hairstylists that are just not comfortable with cutting men's hair with clippers, so hopefully this will help you. Now I'm gonna push the blade away from me, the handle, the lever, which means now we're gonna be like at a 3.5. So I'm just gonna go in a short area right in through here, and now I'm just gonna work up one more level up. And what that's doing, it's simply just cutting the hair a little bit longer as we work our way up the head shape. And always make sure you're combing and cutting, combing and cutting. Very, very important to do this. Because when you comb the hair down, it puts it back into its position, where its natural state, and you're able to see what you're cutting. If you don't comb the hair, you may actually miss a lot. You can even comb the hair, and I do this all the time, you can comb the hair into the clippers like this. All right? Now let's go back on this side, and you can see what's happening is we're starting to follow a very, very consistent pattern like this. Okay, we're following the head shape, we're working our way up the head shape, and we're following a very consistent pattern so that we can duplicate this over and over and over. And don't feel like you have to rush this. Don't feel like, you know, because I'm doing it quicker, you have to do it quicker. Number 4 guard, and I'm gonna keep the lever all the way towards me so it's at its shortest, And if you have any hairs that are coming from the top here hanging down, make sure you push them away. Remember, we're focusing on the sides, right? We are not cutting the top, so do not cut anything up here. We're just focusing on working into the top, all right? So now we're gonna continue the haircut working upwards, and we're gonna start to get to like the round of the head, and you're gonna start to see that this hair is starting to kind of blend into itself. And that's actually pretty good because we're doing most of the work, and as you can see through here, it's working into the top very, very nicely. All right? It doesn't look like it's a super, super short haircut. It looks like it's something that is still very wearable. It could be very professional. It's great for, you know, if you're a kid, teenager, you know, it's really ideal for anything, really, okay? So now I'm going to continue to work up this way and follow the head shape. Sometimes you have to turn maybe the clippers around a certain way to get that angle because the hair grows a different way, a different direction, okay? So don't be afraid to work the clippers in a different direction. Let's flip that blade away from us, and now we're going to work our way upwards like so, and you're gonna see less and less hair coming off, okay? Less and less hair coming off, and make sure you're checking in the mirror or looking to make sure where you're cutting, because you don't want to end up taking off too much hair, but you also don't want to miss cutting hair, right? You don't want to miss areas of the haircut that you're like, oh, I shouldn't have left that too long, right? So make sure you're keeping everything balanced. Make sure you're stepping away, you're stepping back, you're taking a look at how everything's looking, and before you know it, you're going to have a pretty decent haircut without having to do much. So this was a number 4 guard with the blade pushed all the way open. And let's do one more with a number 5 guard. And that's what's great about having these guards, is that you can literally just work off of that. So you can see I'm cutting this on an angle now, and I'm following like the roundness of the head, and I'm just cutting this on a slight angle, holding the clippers more horizontally. So it's allowing me to kind of work the clippers into the shape so I'm not cutting too much accidentally. As we're working up towards the back of the head, the hair will be a bit longer, as you can see, but that's why you're doing this step by step and phase by phase. Make sure you comb that hair down, and we're gonna lift upwards like this with the clipper, and you can see it's actually blending into itself now. And now I'm gonna go more horizontal with the clipper to make sure that I'm cutting everything and not missing any hairs, and it's all blending into itself, all right? Now, let's just say, and that, look how nice that looks. A beautiful, nice blend, working into the top and through here. Doesn't look too short, but let's just say that this may be a bit too long for you. We started with a number 2 guard. Let's take the 1 guard. Let's bring this 1 guard all the way down like this, right? And let's work our way up just a little bit, halfway up. Okay, do like a 1/2 inch to 1 inch of a 1 guard. Then take that 1 lever, push it all the way away from you, and now it's gonna be a 1.5, and we're just gonna lightly work our way into this part. So now what we've done is we've actually created a little bit of a softer blend working into here, and we've actually blended the sideburn right into this part into here. Now, if you need to go shorter around the ear, then you can do that by going around and following the ear this way. Make it a little bit tighter around there. And we're gonna work our way up like this. And what you're doing is you're just literally making it a little bit softer right in through this area. And now you have a nice blended sideburn. Do the same thing on the other side. Again, this is only if you feel the sideburn area is a little too heavy or a little too bulky. Just make sure you're doing this in increments. Do not take a 0 guard and just buzz your head. It's gonna look like a nightmare. It's gonna be a crime scene, but now I'm working my way up to blend into the number 2. And that's why you push the lever away, and you can see we've kind of created a nice softer little blend right into there so it cleans up that area. And now I'm just going around the ear and making it a bit shorter right into here. You can't push the ears down on this, unfortunately, but hopefully you're getting the point. You could also use trimmers. I would suggest buying trimmers. If you don't have trimmers, you can take this with no guard and just go around the ear and be very, very careful. But this is the best way to get rid of those hairs around the ear, all right? You can just comb, you can just literally use this to line up your sideburns. It still cuts, they're very sharp blades, so you're still gonna get a little bit of action on these. Make sure you go in horizontally this way. Do not go too high because you will mess everything up. Once again, around the ear, be very, very careful that you don't cut yourself and that you're not cutting off too much hair, and stay very, very low. Do not go up into the head shape because that will be a complete disaster. All right, let me get all this hair off me. Now, let's just say that you love the top where it is. You don't want to change anything about it. You think you really just want to keep the style like you have here on top of the hair, but you also just wanted to really clean up the sides here. As you can see what we did, we've created a really nice blend without having to do too much work. It's a very sophisticated, modern haircut. You can spike it, you can lay it flat, you can, do whatever you want with this. But the key is now you have, an at-home, so to speak, approach to using clippers at home, cutting hair at home. I didn't do anything with scissors, that's a whole other thing. But, make sure you do invest in good tools. And let me know in the comments below if you found this helpful. Even if you're a professional, right? And if you've never been comfortable with clipper work, hopefully this helped you. Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.